Bradley said, tell him to start the show. I'm waiting.
From the dusty halls in Texas, down to Mexico, to the high-flying rings in Ontario.
Can they hear us now? Or just
Yes.
Nowhere to run,
well, only
nowhere
Bradley's
to
on,
hide. Chasing a dream.
that I know of. Are you able to see if there's anybody else on other than
Oh, yeah.
the one? How many do you show?
0 at the moment. But, I'm looking at it through a very small window, so it might not even show that.
Oh, all right.
All right, I'm going to fade out the music in this.
All right, right. There goes the music. Here comes Matt and Jason. We're still
right.
figuring things out. I had some technical difficulties over here, which we'll discuss later in the show. Matthew, how was your week, and how was your week thinking about wrestling and breaking into the business?
I had an absolutely fantastic week. So what a lot of people probably don't know, but may have figured out, is I work in IT full time. And the company that I work for, we finally released our software. And, it's a huge relief, because that means I better kill these disco lights back there, because I just noticed it.
This goes cool.
Yeah, but it's only for the intro. I also forgot to hit off the fireworks, so I'll hit those off now. So like you said, we're still learning, we're figuring it out, and people love the technical mishaps as part of the. No, I guess I wouldn't really call them mishaps. But anyways, I work in IT. We finally released our software, so things may finally be starting to get a little bit back to normal in my life in terms of work-life balance. So I'm very excited about that. And what else did we do? I did a lot of work on this software that the people are looking at right now. I did a lot of work on the green screen algorithm, so hopefully that looks a little bit more crisp and clear. And I still see a little tiny bit of an outline and green around me, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll deal with it. And the level looks great. We have our little digital version of Brook Havoc back there, and I will be adding more fans in because we do have more subscribers. Like and subscribe, everybody. You'll be doing us a favor and helping our channel grow. A couple of middle-aged guys just trying to do what we can to further the independent wrestling scene. And also, don't
Something
forget,
I spent a lot of years on.
absolutely, don't forget, buy Ryzen's book. You'll help him out, help us out. Just scan that QR code and make a purchase. It's a great read. I read it. It's a great book. Guy has a really strong work ethic. You'd love him. We have a strong work ethic in Buffalo, New York, I think.
Oh yeah. And when I got into wrestling, I mean, I took it very seriously, very, very seriously. And that was instilled in me by the old school guys who brought me in. And it was very hard to impress me unless you had a similar work ethic, which there were guys out there who had greater work ethics. They're the ones that went on to do much better and bigger things. But within my ability limits, I still put forth the best work ethic, which is, I think, what got me even the smallest amount of success that I had, the littlest bit. It was because of work ethic, I think, more than talent or abilities.
Well, I think it's a combination of a lot of different things. It's a combination of work ethic. It's who you know and what you know. Timing.
There's a lot of who you know is a big part of it. Believe me.
Yeah, networking is very important. Luck, being at the right place at the right time, and I think being okay with failing is a big part of it too.
See, I learned that later in life. That through failure, I learned it. Because what was I going to do? Crawl up in a ball and die? Or was I going to learn to live with the fact that I had failed?
Yeah.
What my intentions were of failing. But when you look back, I traveled the world and got paid for it. I wrestled guys who are currently WWE world champions in foreign countries. I made a living off it. Not a great living, but I made a living off it for a little while. So when I looked at it from a different perspective, I actually did have some success, because there are hundreds of thousands of other guys who never reach the small limit that I got to.
Exactly.
There's still hundreds of thousands of guys and girls who've tried this and did not get as far as I have. So I had to look at that as some sort of success, not a complete failure. And then that's when my mind opened up to failure in general and how to deal with it, how to get through it. And like I used a quote from Martin Short last week, that life was 98% failures. Just
Yeah.
hopefully those two non-failures are big.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. You know, you
Because then that'll get.
as long as you learn something. And
Oh yeah,
I've had failures too. I had failures in business. I made a couple really stupid decisions. Did
same.
I ever tell you about the maid service that I ran?
A maid service?
Yeah, it actually ties into a little bit of something that we're going to talk about later. So
You did not.
I don't know if you've ever met my friend Josh. He grew up in my neighborhood as a kid. You may have met him like
And yes, I did. I
3 or
still
4
remember.
times. Yeah,
I'm
so
pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
he moved down here to Florida too. He moved down here in 2018 ish. And he got this girlfriend that he met on Tinder who didn't have a
Oh,
job and just moved in right away with him. And,
Tinder's for girlfriends?
huh?
Tinder's for girlfriends?
Tinder.
Yeah, I didn't know you find a girlfriend on Tinder.
I've never used it, so I wouldn't know. I've been married
I
for
have a funny story
25.
for that. When my son's not listening, I have a funny story for him.
I've been married for 24 years, so I don't know
You
anything
know
about the
nothing
dating
about it.
market. Nothing
Yeah.
about any dating market in the past two decades.
I will fill you with enough horror stories you won't even want to know.
I bet. But anyway, so he had this girlfriend. She just moved in immediately, and he wanted her to get a job. So I'm at their house one day, and I said, "So what do you do? Do you have a degree? Do you have experience?" And she said, "No, I don't have any real experience or education, but I have cleaned houses in the past." And I said, "Okay, well, if you can't find a job, then we'll just make one for you." So I had a whole bunch of flyers printed. I registered a business name. We called it Beachy Keen Cleaning, and she was going to be the maid. And I had a bunch of customers lined up for her. I did some advertising on Facebook. I did some door hanging and got the customers for it. And
Interesting. Yeah.
then, wouldn't you know it, those two people got into a fight over which is maybe a little bit higher than PG-13. So I won't get into it. But they got into a fight. He wound
boy.
up. He wound up in jail for the night, and she wound up commandeering his apartment for a while, and
Wow.
essentially cleaned him blind and fled the state. And that was the end of that.
So she cleaned house, but not the way you thought.
Right. Well, so after he gets out of jail, I go, "So listen, we have a whole bunch of customers right now who are expecting their houses to get cleaned. So what do you want to do?"
I wonder.
And he goes, "Well, let's hire someone." So I put an ad in Craigslist, and I hired 2 people. And I hired this one young lady, and I liked her a lot. She spoke like 4 languages, and she was super bubbly, and she seemed really smart, and she had a degree. And I remember asking, huh?
How much did she take you for?
Oh, we're gonna get to that. And I said, "So you're clearly overqualified for this. Why do you want to be a maid?" And she said, "It's very lucrative." And I'm going to skip a whole bunch of boring stuff and get to the part that you just said. She basically poached every single customer that I had.
Nice.
Yeah, she took every single customer that I had, made her own maid service, and went off happily into the sunset. And that was the disaster of the maid service that I
I
had.
saw that coming, but that's just from life experience and failing myself.
Yep.
She took advantage of you
She
being,
did.
a new business owner.
She did,
I've seen
yeah.
it in smaller ways, not
Mhm.
just those ways where it's very egregious, but I've
Yeah.
seen it even in small ways. When I opened up my first toy store, there were people who were trying to pawn off toys that I knew weren't worth anything as something, but they were also like the old timey toy dealers, like before the internet, when they'd set up at like flea markets.
Yeah.
They would just bring in their junk that they know every other toy dealer in town knew wasn't worth anything, and they would try to convince me it was.
And all the prices
Just
came from
because I was in the
magazines.
store. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I know your Beanie Babies aren't worth shit. Just because I opened the store yesterday doesn't mean I got into this yesterday. They were under the impression that I just decided one day I'm going to open up a toy store, which was kind of true, but I was already in that world doing it, just not in a brick and mortar store. So I've seen when a new business opens, I've seen people attempt to take advantage. You're from situations like yours all the way to minimal, like that story I just said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's good, because if you ever do decide, in the future, if you ever want to start your own wrestling league, you have tons of people now in your network that can help you.
Oh, absolutely.
You gotta watch, because somebody's gonna see that you're new, feed you a bunch of bullshit, and try to get into your pockets and do what that customer did with you. Try to take your clients or your venues or your wrestlers or your lighting system or your software for something. You just gotta be careful.
Yeah. I think Hypothetically speaking, if we did something like that, I would just stay in my lane and make sure that the Wi-Fi worked, the
I
video
would,
was
I would,
crisp and clear,
yeah,
and
I would not let you do it alone.
I'm sure. Yeah.
To what extent I could join you, I don't know. But if anybody comes to you and says, "Hey, Matt, I'm so and so, I want to help you," you just turn them to me.
Right. Exactly.
I'll be like, "No, get the fuck out of here."
It's like, no, I get
So
taken advantage of all the time. It
yeah,
has happened many
that's
times.
part of our
It's
good nature, and I
Yeah,
expect
it
it
is.
to a
It
friend.
is. Well,
Yeah,
it's because I work in IT, right? And I'm used to seeing other people around me that have a very similar work ethic. They every single person that I work with right now is absolutely incredible, and they work almost 24/7. I could message any one of them at 11:30 at night, and I'm 99% sure I'm going to get a response if they're awake. And it's just and I just assume everybody else is like that too, and they're not. So,
no,
yeah.
not only are they not, but sometimes the ones that are have a different, more devious idea to get ahead of you in some way, especially in a corporate environment,
Oh, and that's
where I don't
happened before
spend a
too.
little
Yeah, that
time.
that has happened
Oh yeah,
before to me too. It's
oh yeah. No, I've watched it happen. I've seen it.
mhm.
It got to the point where I could see it ahead of time now.
Yep.
Thank God. But it just sucks that you have to learn such hard things.
Yep.
Um,
It's life. It's life, man. And I assume that most of our listeners are going to be between the ages of 25 and 45. And as middle-aged people, we can act as sort of mentors to them in a way, and
yeah,
hopefully guide them and say, it's not only just about working hard, but it's also about making the right decisions and being treating your own life as like kind of like a business. You have to be like the CEO of your own life and be strategic. And for some people, especially like me, it doesn't come naturally. I just assume everybody has the same goal. We're all working towards the same thing, and I don't have a criminal mindset. So when people and it also doesn't help for security, cybersecurity. I have to go like outside of like my own thinking for cybersecurity because I don't think of ways to break into a system. You know, you know what I
yeah. I
mean?
don't have. Yeah, I don't have it in me to do something criminal.
Right.
I mean, I could be good at determining what would stop a criminal or the first place a criminal would go, but that's from work experience and learning
Hmm.
it,
Yep.
not from having a criminal mentality
Yep.
per se. But yeah, no,
Oh.
I'm also an overly giving person.
Yep.
So, whereas my profit should have been this, I gave away a little too much because some guy comes in shopping. He's got his daughter with him. She loves everything. So you think she's paying for it?
Yep. Yep.
Not a chance.
I know what you
So,
mean. Yeah.
but I know how I am, and I know I'm not going to change it.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
there's plenty of times somewhere like, oh, I could have made much more money today, but I am who I am. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So this kind of ties into the my friend's story a little bit. That the one that I talked about who got out of jail and the maid service. So I'm going to show you a flyer, and then I'll explain how it relates exactly to what I was just talking about. So my friend moved down to a very small city called Edgewater. It's in the Atlantic coast of Central Florida, just a little bit north of me, but maybe about an hour, and not too far from Daytona. So this guy calls himself Even Steven, a voice for everyone. I think this flyer may have been produced by ChatGTP because it kind of looks a lot like something like that.
is that the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, he was a Stanley Cup winner. So
Was it?
Yeah. So this guy is running for mayor in Edgewater. Now you might be asking, what does this have to do with a wrestling podcast? Well, his wife is Brooke Hogan.
Get the hell out.
Yeah. So they bought a house in Edgewater, not too far from where my friend lives. And right as soon as they get to the city, they throw their hat in the ring for running it. So, and here's where it gets a little bit Florida-y. So the current mayor is a guy whose name is Diesel, and he was elected when he was 18 years old.
Minky.
My friend actually voted for him because he was 18 years old. So there's another podcast that I do with my friend, and he's going to try to get the current mayor Diesel on the show at the same time as this other guy, Even Steven, along with Brooke Hogan, because he's a big Hogan fan, as most of us were who grew up in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
So
huge.
that's just a funny story, and I can't wait to see it unfold. And I hope we can get the two of them debating on our own podcast.
Oh yeah.
So
You get him to debate wrestling on this one.
I'm
Like, hey
gonna
guys,
try.
want to do one that's fun and no politics? Just debate wrestling.
Yeah, I don't care about politics at all. I got out of that.
No,
I don't even vote anymore. I got out of that a while ago.
I mean, I'll vote, but I don't get involved in people's bullshit conversations. You know,
I just
I
got
don't
too
get
black
involved.
pilled. I just got too black pilled on it, man, because I got involved in politics for a few years, and then I realized that nobody actually wants to fix anything.
No, it's a power grab,
Yeah,
local on the local level.
yeah. So every level,
Yeah,
it's
well,
awful.
I've only seen it firsthand on a local.
Yeah, I know
But
people
yes,
who are a little bit higher than local, but geez, no, thank you. I got out of it. No more. I'm done. I'm just
it's
gonna
not worth it.
focus on yeah. I'm just gonna focus on stuff that I that actually does make a difference. Hopefully,
Stuff
what we're
that's
doing
fun.
now.
Yeah. Make it fun, and maybe it'll make a difference. Maybe this podcast blows up.
Hmm.
We could give money towards different charities to
Yeah.
actually help things,
Oh yeah.
and have a nice wrestling promotion someday out of it,
Yeah. I'd love
possibly.
to do something like that. I think that would be fun. I think the Orlando area is an absolutely fantastic area for that, and there's
For
just
that
so
type of
much raw
thing. Yeah,
talent here. There's a highly reputable wrestling school here,
there's
and
all the talent there.
yeah.
Even the legendary talent is there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that makes the market oversaturated, though.
It's.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
think
how that would.
so. I think.
Like, if you have access to like Bushwhacker Luke every day of the week, is there still a draw to come see? Because if I put Bushwhacker Luke out here where I live, we draw a crowd because people are like, oh my god, the Bushwhackers. But if he's on every show in Florida, is he still going to have that draw?
I'm not sure if
Yeah,
it's
maybe in general, not Bushwhacker Luke
right.
particular.
I'm not sure if it's that saturated. We
Got, got,
see a lot of interesting talent coming in, even in Brevard County where I live, and a lot in Orlando as well. And a lot of it's intermixed. We're only an hour away, so um, I don't know if you hear my dog barking in the background. I've got one of those little annoying chewies.
yeah, I got a little one too.
She's
Yeah, did we get any questions in from our viewer or
uh,
viewers?
no questions yet,
I'm
but
getting messages.
I don't
Yeah,
actually.
and they're
I don't
saying that they
actually expect much of anything for a while. Now, if you want to talk about saturated, YouTube is saturated, and it's going to take a while for us to build up with our audience.
Oh, I'm doing the same thing with the toy business now.
Yeah.
It's a tough climb, but I did get a text message from somebody who's listening and says that they left a question.
Oh, did they? Let me check.
Yeah, but I thought there's gonna be some sort of like
Okay, so we do have somebody here. We got somebody who calls himself Baloney Pete, which
oh yeah,
is a great name. What was your favorite area of the world that you've worked in?
oh, was that below? Oh, I all right. I know where. My favorite part was they all had their own different charm. There was a special charm to working down south in the United States because they believed it. And if you played the heel the right way, you were leaving there attacked with scars. And I've had that happen. Um, I've had a police escort from London, Ontario, all the way to the Peace Bridge in Buffalo. It's about 3.5 hours just to get me out of Canada in one piece alive. Um, that's for the heel stuff. When you get a crowd that believes it. But like I had the best time in England because we wrestled so much and you get so tight with the other guys because you're on all these shows together. And it was just different than working the Northeast here where I mainly worked Northeast in Canada. I started off in the South, which had its own charm and I loved it. It was like a special. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe if another experienced wrestler comes on, or listens to this, goes back and hears this, help me try to explain the difference between wrestling in the North and wrestling in the South. Try to help me explain that charm that I'm discussing. I'm sure any veteran out there who's wrestled primarily in both understands what I'm trying to project. But yeah, no, Austria, Germany, uh, England. Those are all, and it's different everywhere. The stuff I encountered down south in the United States, totally different crowds there. In the Maritimes in Canada, like Nova Scotia, you will get the biggest crowd reaction from working an armbar. But if you go to like towards the Midwest, you got to do like 3 somersaults and land on your head in order to get a certain crowd reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
They
really
expect a lot in the North.
yeah. Oh yeah. I've spent most of my time in the Northeast and Canada, wrestling primarily that area. But like there was a special charm to to working down south. Very special. And then overseas was awesome in its own way. All different, all great. I don't know if one's better than the other, but they're all different in a weird kind of way. And I'd love to have maybe one of the other guys, maybe the guy who wrote the book, Ryzen, maybe get him on and specifically ask him that question.
Yeah.
Make a note of that.
Well, I definitely had a plan to ask him to come on the show, but I was going to wait.
Ask him if he'll discuss that topic with me specifically.
Yeah, of course.
That would be awesome
yeah,
to get him in his experience.
I don't actually I talk to him online sometimes, but I've been so busy I haven't talked to him much lately. But I know the ALW has a show on the 25th of July. I don't know if he's going to be there, but they're doing something else. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I wanted to show you another flyer. So check this out. Look who's coming back to town. I believe you know one of these people.
I can't really see it too well. Is it Shannon Moore?
It is. It is Shannon Moore. Shannon Moore will be wrestling Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze. I love that gimmick him and Fandango did.
Yeah.
The tat. Oh, that was great.
Yeah. So Tyler Breeze and Shannon Moore. July 25th, Melbourne, Florida. And,
nice.
Yeah, I like Shannon Moore. He's a nice guy. He's short like me.
Nice guy. Yeah, I knew there was like a group out of another part of North Carolina. I went to school in Charlotte, North Carolina, at Chief Wahoo McDaniel's school. And another wrestler named the Italian Stallion had a school further away in North Carolina. And they were like different groups. But we were friendly, so we'd see each other. And they ran shows, and our guys would go to their shows. And there was a lot of intermingling around. So I got to know like the Hardy Boys before they went to WWE. And, Shane Helms. I mean, I didn't get to know him. We didn't become best friends. But by the time I got to the WWE, my first day in the locker room, Jeff Hardy remembered me. Matt Hardy, they remembered being around me. Shane Helms remembered. Even though we just crossed paths a little bit back when we were very young, it was enough for them to remember me and recall. And I've always had great relationships whenever I'd see them. They were always good guys, the guys from that area. I'm trying to think of what part of North Carolina that was. It began with a C.
Charlotte?
No, I was in Charlotte. They were further away, a couple hours away at the Italian Stallion School. And I'm very sure that town began with a C as well.
Oh.
I just can't think of what
idea.
it is.
I did not spend a lot of time in that area.
Do you have any idea how many times I've been hit in the head since that moment?
Yeah, at least a couple.
I'm surprised I pulled out what information I did.
Yeah. So they're doing another thing that's not related to wrestling. The people who are doing the ALW thing. And this is really cool. They're doing an Atomicon August 15th in Cape Canaveral. And somehow they got Terrence Zdunich there. Now,
Who's that?
I was afraid. I was kind of hoping you would know. So back in 2008, there was a rock opera called Repo the Genetic Opera. And it was very low-key. It was very underground, but it has a huge cult following.
Like a cult following.
Yeah, and that's his greatest work. And I saw it, my wife and I saw it back in 2009, shortly after our son was born, and we just absolutely loved it. We did see The Devil's Carnival. That wasn't as good. But Repo the Genetic Opera, I thought was a fantastic movie. If you don't take it seriously, it's a heavy metal rock opera about organ repossession. So and it's got a lot of it's got a lot of big names in it. It's got Anthony Stewart Head, who was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was actually one of the main characters. Paul Sorvino, who was a very famous opera singer. Sarah Brightman. Alexa Vega, she was in Spy Kids, if you remember that from way back when. Nivek Ogre, the singer of Skinny Puppy, and did I say Sarah Brightman? Oh, Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton's in it also.
Oh, yeah, I know that is.
And you can tell the actors all had so much fun when they were making this movie. And
it's the same thing in wrestling. If you're having fun, the crowd can tell.
Oh, yeah. And they absolutely were. The music was great. So I don't know why it's called one of the worst movies ever made. Everyone's a critic, I guess. But,
you ever see Zombies versus Wrestlers?
No, but now I want to.
That will be the worst movie ever made. I love Shane Douglas. I love Roddy Piper. I love Duggan. I love all those guys.
And where can I find this masterpiece? Because I have to see it.
I got it like on eBay years ago, like 10 years ago.
Is it on any streaming service?
It's meant to be horrible. I honestly haven't even checked for it since I ordered the DVD watched it, and never watched it again. And since then, now when I watched it, I didn't know Shane Douglas. I got to know Shane Douglas after I watched it, and I purposely did not bring that movie up to him uh, because he would not have liked what I had to say about that.
No, I think the worst movie ever made was probably Turkish Star Wars.
I don't know that one.
You're not familiar with that one?
No.
So it was done by
Remember
this.
you made me watch some movie with puppets that
Meet the Feebles. You must be talking about Meet
made
the
me watch that
Feebles.
movie. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember
You
that.
like watch the movie? It's great. And there's like they were like filming porn or something.
Yeah, they were. It's one of Peter Jackson's first movies, and
it was Peter Jackson. That's right.
Yeah, it was Peter Jackson. It was one of Peter Jackson's first movies. It's so bad.
It was you who introduced me to that.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's bad in every possible way, but that's what makes it great.
But it's meant to be.
It is.
Yeah.
It's meant to be. No, Turkish Star Wars is. I don't think they tried to be bad, but it was so bad. It was some Turkish director, obviously, and he took stock footage from the original Star Wars and filmed it in Turkey with Turkish actors. He stole music from the Indiana Jones, and it was just the special effects were so bad. And the stock footage ripoff from the original Star Wars. He got away with it because he's nobody, and and of course his production company's not in business anymore. But the title of it is "The Man Who Saved the World," but the internet knows it as Turkish Star Wars. So it is widely regarded as the worst movie ever made.
Wow, craziness!
So there you have it.
All right. Well, so we got to check out. We got to rewatch Meet the Feebles because I haven't seen that since you and I were about
1920.
20.
Back in the 1900s.
Back in the 1900s, and we got to watch that. You got to watch Zombies versus Rustlers.
My wife will probably love it. My wife will love it. She loves ever since we started going to the independent wrestling. My wife realized she just loves professional wrestling because it's ridiculous, because of the fanfare, because of all of that.
Be a bit of that,
yeah, and we have a blast. We really do, and I can't wait for this Comic-Con.
Like me, because my character was serious about it. I mean, I got goofy at times. Like when I would play a face in towns that I've been in a while, my personality would come out more.
Yeah,
and there would be comedy spots mixed in with the hard hitting and the. I mean, I played that character. When I went through the curtain, there was no Jason.
Right.
I was a cowboy from Texas, even though I'd never been to Texas in my life. I was that cowboy from Texas, and there was no changing that. But when I'd be in the front of the same crowd for a while, there would be like a little seepage of that goofy, silly me coming out of imagine like a guy possessed. Imagine you're possessed by some spirit, but the real you can speak out a little bit here and there.
That's what happens with familiarity, I think.
Yeah, when I'd be in front of the same crowd regularly, that was some of the best stuff I did. When I let that character let a little bit of the real me out and try to get like a balance, that's really some of the best stuff I did. It was all at the end of my career. It was within the last few years. But yeah, it was that. So if anybody young is out there, Baloney Pete, if you're going to wrestle, whatever character you come up with, play it like it's real.
Yep.
But let a little bit of you out and mix into it. That's where the best stuff was. I did it almost 25 years, and I think I spent 21 of them being far too serious. When that little bit of me coming out, actually, it was some of the better stuff I've done that I enjoyed.
You got to have a sense of humor about yourself and not take everything.
And which I do in real life, as you all know. But once I got in the ring, see, when I went to wrestling school, all that was beaten out of me because it was to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
I've had fans always compliment me by saying, no matter what you do, I always believe it. Because by me taking it that seriously, I made it more believable. Mm-hmm. Whereas you might have other performers that they're putting on a performance.
Yeah, they are.
You would not know I was putting on a performance. You would think I was there to beat the shit out of someone. Which was actually in itself a performance. But I kept it to that real performance. But when I opened up a little bit and let the real me out in certain circumstances, if I would have discovered that earlier, who knows what could have happened.
Yep. And one bit of advice I'd love to give some of our younger viewers, if we have any of those, is if you work out and you lift with heavy weights, do not ever give up. Keep doing that even well until your middle ages, because it's once you start to lose your shape, it is so hard to get back in. It,
Oh, it's a lot harder.
it's terrible. I've been in front
Yeah.
of a computer for the last 27 years, and I still work out as often as I can with my schedule. But being a software engineer for so long takes its toll on you, and man, and everybody around you in an office is trying to make you fat. They're
Yeah.
always bringing in sweets and fried foods, and
Oh, offices are the worst.
God, yeah. So I've been recently returning to my old habits of trying to be in good shape. So
Oh, no, I work in a school. You know how much pizza flows around that school?
oh God, and you're in the Western New York area too, so it's better pizza.
There's pizza coming out of the vents
Yeah,
in these schools.
I know.
So
I
I get it.
know.
I totally get it. And then with the injury, my knee has not been good for years, so I haven't been as active and in the gym as I
Yeah,
would like to.
yeah. My wife ballooned up when she hurt her knee. She
Oh,
was
it's
just
bad. Well, I'm
immobile.
trying to keep it
Yeah,
down because I'm trying to watch because once it's healed, I want to get back into the gym.
yep.
I don't want to overdo it. I used to put 1,000 pounds on the leg press. I'm not going to put 1,000 pounds on the leg press, but I'm at least going to be more active in the gym again.
I'm working my way up towards 300, and I'm starting to get excited about that.
There you go. Get there. Get it.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I wanted to talk about protein powder a little bit. So you've had whey protein powder, I would just assume, as a regular
well, I
supplement.
started off before protein powder. I used steroids, um, and then I moved into protein powder. Uh, once the kids were born, and I couldn't be a roided out jerk anymore.
Right, of course, of course. But me as
I'm
sitting
tired of
behind a
being a
computer
father.
desk all day, I think I need to maintain somewhere around 200 grams of protein. So I buy the whey protein powder from Aldi, and it's
I
terrible.
love all.
Well, I love Aldi
Really?
too. I love Aldi so much, but this protein powder, it just doesn't dissolve. You
No,
could stir
and
forever
don't
and
buy
it
it.
doesn't dissolve.
There's some stuff. I'll get information from Marlon. I will send it to you. There's
Yeah,
stuff that
yeah,
she gets
yeah.
on Amazon that's really good and it's not expensive. I remember a lot of protein powder, like when I was working in the gyms not too long ago. Um, a lot of protein powder. We all wanted a non-dairy option
Yeah,
because
because
some of
whey
us
is
were
dairy,
lactose
right?
intolerant, and we wanted that. There was vegan protein powder, but it tastes like cardboard.
Yeah,
And believe it or not, a lot of those protein powder companies, they're not regulated like other companies are.
I didn't assume
That
they were.
in order to make it look like there's more product, they've shaved up cardboard
No, I
and mixed it
believe
in
it.
there with the protein powder. Yeah, you got to watch with some of those protein powder companies.
I was once
But
given a half a bottle of like fish protein powder, and it was
ew,
so bad. It was
no,
so
no, yeah.
bad. I
From
couldn't.
now on, run all these decisions by me. I'll help you out.
It was supposed
But
to
there
be
was
flavored like chocolate, and it just tasted like fishy chocolate. It's one of the worst
chocolate
combinations
fish.
I've ever put in my mouth. It's so bad.
That's disgusting.
It
But
is.
when we were at that gym, we were working with a company to white label. You know what white labeling is.
Yep.
So we found this company out of Canada that made a vegan protein powder that was phenomenal.
Really.
But we thought they were lying to us. We're like, listen, you sons of bitches, we asked you for vegan protein powder and you sent us whey protein powder. And they're like, no, dude, that's vegan. We're
What
like, you're
was it made out
liars.
of?
I don't remember. But if I could ever find out, if I can get me and another one of my buddies were working on that, and if I could ever find out what company made that. But the stuff that Marla gets now off of Amazon is really good. I'll get you that link sent over to you.
And we'll get that link out to the viewers too, so that they could
And I'll
also
put it in my
enjoy.
Instagram bio. So every time you click it, I'll get like 45 cents.
Yeah, whatever the commission is. Exactly. Yeah, I know it's tough to make money on the internet these days.
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 4 cents on Facebook. In another 3 years, I'll be able to cash out.
I know we're up to 23 cents in rubble.
Oh, hey, that's way more than I got. It's
Well,
working.
we'll grow. We'll grow. We've got people joining. We got people subscribing. So yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoy our middle age reminiscing and
We
kind
kind
of
of got a little
advice.
bit off wrestling this week, but
It's fine.
this gives us, we haven't really caught up much in 20 something
20
years.
something odd years. Yeah. Look at how
Yeah.
gray my
So,
hair is now.
well, I mean, that's going to happen. I'm getting gray in here,
Yeah.
a beard. You remember what I used to do? I was like Superman. I could have leapt a tall building in a single bound. Ask Matt Grigett. Ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
true.
we were we were all full of testosterone back then. It was
Oh,
nuts.
that was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. It's I haven't really been able
Remember they
to
found that bear in your neighborhood, and I went out to find it. Do
vaguely
you remember
remember
that?
that. I vaguely
Remember when there's
remember
a
that.
bear right in your neighborhood,
Kinda.
and your dad's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I gotta see it." He's like, "What are you nuts?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
right back."
Well, I've seen people since then do things, or at least talk about doing things that were even crazier. Like there was this one guy in my neighborhood who was a retired Marine. He was honorably discharged. The guy was just bored of life, and he was always looking for something exciting to do. And he wanted to go wild boar hunting with only knives.
Oh, down in Florida, yeah, no, you can't
Yeah,
do that.
you
You need
can,
guns.
you can if you really wanted
Well,
to.
that's silly.
That's not the question. The question is, should you? And I would say no.
Did he do it?
No, I don't think he ever got around to doing it, but he was talking about doing it.
Do you want to
And
hear a story of wildlife where
yeah,
people have I'll tell you the story, but first I'll tell you that after hearing the story, other people have told me I was very brave and very tough.
all right.
What they don't know is I was actually very stupid, and I will explain. So we were in uh, God, it was past Thunder Bay, Ontario. I can't think of the name of the town. It began with a P, like Patownin or something. I don't know. It was way up there. So we're way past Thunder Bay. We're on this road, and there's traffic, and it's traffic stopped. It's a small, like, country road. Traffic stopped in both directions.
Hmm.
So like, what the hell's going on? What's the holdup? And I'm starting to get angry, because we're gonna be late for the show. I don't like being late. So I tell the guys, I'm gonna get out of the car. I'm gonna go see what's going on. So like, it was only like 10 or 12 cars up. There's a giant moose standing in the road, and all the cars, they're just sitting there, like, watching it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like their world revolves around that moose. And I'm like, no, dude, we gotta get to the show. So I go over by the moose, and I'm going like, come on, like we do with our cats. Like, I'm like, come on, off the road. Come
That's
on, get off
ballsy, dude.
exactly. I've been told that many times. So there's a gentleman in a pickup truck right there, and he rolls down the window, Canadian gentleman, rolls down the window, and goes, what are you doing there, eh? I was like, I'm just trying to get him off the road because we're gonna be late for our event. And the guy goes, oh, they're very aggressive. He goes, you hear that sound he's making? And it was like a weird sound. I go, yeah. He goes, that means he's gonna attack you, eh? I'm like, so I should just moonwalk back to the car and get out of here. Is what you're saying? He's like, that would be very smart. Yes. So literally, I walked backwards to the car slowly,
Hmm.
and within a few minutes, the moose moved. But every time I tell somebody I walked up to the moose and went, get out of the way, they're like, oh man, you're tough, you're badass. Contrary, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I did not know how violently aggressive moose were because I grew up watching Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
So
And they can
I
get to about
thought,
1,200 pounds too, I think.
oh, this thing was huge. This thing was massive. But I thought it was like going up to a donkey, a 1,200-pound donkey. I was just like, move, come on.
Yeah, they can be vicious.
I offered him fake treats. He didn't fall for it.
A long time ago, I knew somebody in New Hampshire that the car in front of him hit a moose on the highway when they were driving. The moose
Is there
flew
car-
up. But even worse. The moose flew up and landed on top of his car, broke his neck, and turned him into a quadriplegic.
Wow.
Yeah, the car was probably also totaled. Yeah,
Well,
but
I'm sure if it got to him, yeah.
yeah, but like a story like that is just nuts. Can you imagine?
That is crazy.
Man, because
What that happened in Vermont?
New Hampshire, there for a very small
Yeah.
amount of time, lived and worked in New Hampshire. I think from the end of 2006 to about 2010 ish. I was in
I don't know.
Manchester.
I don't know if it's my ADHD segues in different ways. So you said road, country road, night. My mind segued to a haunted road here in town. When you lived here, when we were young, did you ever go to any of those supposed haunted roads that we had?
I sure did. I went to the one with Pigman.
That's not real.
I know none of them are.
Yeah, that one's fake.
But
Did you know that the Travel Channel contacted me to host a show about it?
no, you never mentioned that.
They bailed out on it because I told them it wasn't real.
Oh, that's too bad.
There's like a haunted author here who does things about paranormal stuff, and they reached out to him, and he gave them my information for the Pigman Road. But since the time I had talked to him, I had pretty much learned that there's really nothing going on there.
Yeah.
Um, However, there are several roads that are real. And since Baloney Pete is listening, I was on one of those roads with Baloney Pete one day. I won't expose his real name, but it's not Baloney. Um, but
His
yeah,
name is
no,
Pete Baloney, not Baloney Pete.
exactly. We won't expose that though. Kayfabe.
Right.
So maybe one of these days we could do an episode if anybody out there cares. We'll go over some of those situations that we've been in. One of which, when people go to look for the paranormal, we got the full experience that we weren't really. I was hoping to see like something go by, a little something. No, we got the full,
Oh wow.
uh, almost like a Hollywood experience. It was nuts what happened on that road. It was near. Um, what's the name of that town? Not far from East Aurora.
Um,
Baloney Pete. If you're listening and you know the name
Lancaster,
of the
maybe.
town, what's that?
Lancaster, Marilla.
No, that's up towards the not far from Marilla, between East Aurora, Elma, and then there's another one there.
Depew.
It's like out that 20A. Hopefully, Baloney Pete will type in the answer and he'll know. But it's a cemetery, and it's real, and there's no doubt about it.
Well, there is another podcast that I'm going to be starting up. I have a cousin who does tarot card readings for a living, and she wants to do a podcast that focuses on paranormal stuff and true crime. And that's going to be starting up within the next few weeks. I know she's getting
Ooh,
new
I
computer.
want to be a guest.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll bring you on. Absolutely.
Tell her that all the paranormal investigating people around here, they bring me places. They don't tell me where because I don't like to go look at ghosts.
Yeah, she loves
So
that
they
kind
don't.
of stuff.
They tell me we're going for chicken wings, and then we end up at some haunted place because apparently, whenever I show up, more things pop
More
around.
things
I don't know
happen.
what
Yeah.
that means. You could ask your is it your cousin?
Yeah.
That's
she's
the
a cousin.
tarot card reader.
Yep.
All right. Well, ask her what that means. When I show up places, it gets more. You can go somewhere in here like get out of my face, like something like that. But then when I show up, shit starts flying around, and it comes out and looks at you and says, "Get out."
That's fun.
So whatever. No, it's not. No, it's definitely not fun.
I'll send you up
Not
there
if
with a
you're the one
360
that's-
camera.
No.
Next time you go, I'll make sure you have one of those. Have you seen those? Those are awesome. I just got one. It's
I'm so scared of that stuff. I don't even want to do it.
y-
But
y-
of course, my friends have lured me out with the promise of food. But instead, we'd end up at some haunted place, and yeah, demons and shell all over the place. Are those tarot cards?
yeah, they are. I actually wrote this to have some draws. I don't know anything about it, but
I don't either.
yeah,
But
kind of hidden behind everything over
that'd be cool. Well, I definitely like to cross over. That looks from the angle I was at. That looked like more like the Hardee's menu drive-through.
there. Yeah, I like Hardee's actually. We have one of those.
Me too. Yeah, me too. But we don't have that up here.
No,
But,
you
yeah, no,
don't.
definitely keep on that show.
In the West, they're called Carl's Jr. and in the East, they're called Hardee's, and they're decent burgers. I like them a lot. Although I think they kind of
Oh, yeah.
went downhill a little bit over the past 10 years.
When I would rustle down south, the first thing there was a town in West Virginia. That was my last Hardee's before leaving the South,
hmm
and I would have to pull into that same one in some backwoods town in West Virginia and get a monster burger
I bet we
because that
both
was going to be my
stopped
last
at that
one for
same one.
months.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It was like the last one once I get to Buffalo.
In the hills of West Virginia, right?
Yeah, like in some windy town on
Yep.
was it the 79?
Something like that. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
I know we're talking about the same town right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think
For sure.
because you're going from Buffalo to the south. When we went from Buffalo
There's
to Florida.
two ways to take. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know for a fact we made it a point to stop at a Hardee's on the way down.
That's
so
probably that one. That was the last
I
one.
think it
We're
was.
down north.
It probably was.
I bet you it was. Probably
Yeah.
the drive through at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
So now before we actually, as you can see, I keep getting more and more stamina and ability to do this as the weeks go on from knee replacement surgery.
Good. Good.
How has your progression been going from rustling Mark to getting slowly informationally broken into the business?
Well, I'm starting to see things from a slightly different point of view now. And
Nice.
In terms of
Some of the things I explained, you could see them.
yeah, I can see things now. And
Cool.
it hasn't lessened the experience at all because I never believed it to begin with. I mean, seriously.
Hey, watch it. Don't
Well,
use the
yeah.
F word.
Yeah. And But I have always appreciated the athleticism behind it and what went into it
Oh, absolutely.
to make it the show that it is. And but now I see a
We
lot
are
more.
in contact. I mean, look at the scars on my forehead.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, there's
We
a lot of them. Look
we
at the
got
knee
we
that just replaced.
well we got a wrestler down here who wrestles under the name the Raging Dead. His name is Nathan Gust, and nice guy, but man, he goes all out. I mean, he really like lets himself get beaten up and taken. He takes a lot of like the guy is covered in bruises by the end of the night, all
Yeah.
over his
I don't
chest,
think you
and
need to go that far.
he goes all out, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But you don't even have to be that extreme when you're explaining it to somebody. Like for a lot of you guys who are listening, and you've been out of high school for 5 or 6 years, do 20 jumping jacks, and then tell us that you could do some of the things that you see they do.
I've seen a lot of people tell me that they can do what they just watched me do,
Hmm.
and I look at them and I can tell that they cannot.
No.
But what prompted that was that we made it look so good
Mhm.
and so smooth because we knew what we were doing. We made it look so smooth that made you believe you could do it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you actually knew what went into it, and if you watched two guys who didn't know what they were doing, you would probably see that you can't do it because you'll be able to tell that they can't. But when you have two professionals in the ring and they're doing it so well, it makes it look like it's easy to you watching from the crowd.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the difference. I've
I
seen that hundreds of times. I've encountered the best is when I leave the ring, I'm going outside and somebody's telling me wrestling's fake. I'm like, you just watched me in there. I was the one in there. I'm telling you it's not.
No, it's not.
Who am I going to believe? You who was in the crowd or me who was actually in there?
Everybody is an armchair manager.
Oh my God. It's so stupid when they're sitting there telling me, like, oh yeah, you know, that stuff's fake. Oh, really? You just watched me in there. I'm telling you it's not.
You know what we should come up with is we should come up with some type of audience interaction / game thing. We haven't done anything like that, but I have done it in some of the other shows. Where in one of the other shows that I do, we have this thing called 10 Opinions, where I put this little effect on the screen, and then and then I could put like a top 10 title here, set the title, and then I could list out it can list out whatever we want in a top 10 list. I'm not saying this is what we have to do, but just an example of things
I do everything off the top of my head. Give me a something. Top 10 what? I'll give you top 10.
Top 10. All right, let's do a top 10.
Give
Let's
me
do
anything.
it. Let's do a
Matt.
top 10. Let's do something ridiculous. Let's do top 10 gimmicks.
Gimmicks?
Yeah.
Like ridiculous gimmicks?
Yeah, whatever you like.
Like them? Or ridiculous gimmicks, they were bad, we didn't like them. Because there's plenty of gimmicks that are bad and I loved them. But there are plenty of gimmicks that were like so stupid. Like
Do the ones that you liked.
oh, the ones I liked.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite wrestler of all time now is Danhausen. I mean, that's a gimmick, right?
We can call it that.
Or, I mean, he really is a demon from another evil dimension. So I don't know if that's considered a gimmick.
Go into detail a little bit about his gimmick for somebody who hasn't seen it.
All right. Well, he's actually a demon from an evil dimension,
Right. Okay.
and he's here on Earth now trying to make human monies.
Okay.
But he's very nice. He's very evil, but he's also very nice.
All right.
I don't know if it's a gimmick because he really is from another universe that's evil and very nice.
Sounds
So I don't know if that
sounds a lot like the anime The Devil is a Part-Timer.
But either way, if that's if that's considered a gimmick, then that would be the best one.
Okay.
But since it's real life, he's actually from another evil dimension. I don't know if it counts as a gimmick. So you can kayfabe your way through that one.
There we go. All right. What do you got for number 2?
Doink the Clown
Oh, Doink was awesome.
was great. I wrestled one of the Doinks, two of the Doinks. I wrestled two different Doinks, and they were both real life Doink. There was like several of them back in the day, and I got to wrestle two years later as Doink. So that was cool. Let's see what other.
I like that. Doink the Clown. That's great.
The Big Boss Man. I love the Big Boss Man and the Mountie. So go right there. 3, 4. Big Boss Man, Mountie. Oh, number 5. That could have been number 1, but I didn't think about it. Hakeem, the African Dream.
Oh, I remember him.
Oh, that was the best. He was the best dancer ever.
Now, one thing about the Mountie, wasn't there like 2 of them at one point?
Yeah, well, they were the Quebecers. That was
That's
very
right, the Quebecers, and
yeah. I got to
they didn't know the Canadian national anthem.
I know the Canadian national anthem.
Yeah, me too.
I could sing that bad boy by heart. That's my jam. All right, what other goofy, silly gimmicks were out there that were lovable? Like the bad list would have like the gobbledygooker. Don't put them on this list. This is for good.
Yeah, we're not gonna put him.
Um, things that stand out. The Goon does not belong on this list. T.L. Hopper not on this list.
Kane.
Kane,
Yeah, did he have a good gimmick, or was it kind of
was that a gimmick?
like the whole mask and the red leather thing?
All right. I mean, you could put him on there.
Maybe not. Well, what about the $1 Million Man?
He really was $1 million man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a gimmick.
I'm sure he was.
But if it's not, then he would definitely be on the list. Actually, put on the list. Let's pretend like he wasn't $1 million man, and he was just Ted DiBiase, the wrestler, who pretended to be $1 million man. That was the best gimmick, but he played it so well that it almost wasn't a gimmick. But it was in the end.
Where did he make his millions?
Oh, the Red Rooster's bad. Well, I know the story about how he got the money.
Do you want him on
No, it was Vince McMahon's money. Yeah. Vince would give him loads of money and tell him to go to restaurants and pick up the tab and be a jerk to everybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that was all Vince's money to create a real life character out of him.
Huh.
Yep, kayfabe. What other gimmicks are out there? Baloney Pete, do you have any suggestions for horrible gimmicks that we loved anyway? Can you give us at least one, Baloney Pete? Do not say Blackjack Phoenix.
Now, didn't the Red Rooster change to Tanaka at one point?
No, that was Terry Taylor.
Oh.
Well, Abe Knuckleball Schwartz. Oh, the Brooklyn Brawler. That was a good one, I guess.
I like the Sandman.
Well, that wasn't a gimmick. The guy literally just came off a roof and walked into a wrestling ring.
And he was drunk.
Yeah, that was far from a gimmick.
No, we knew he was drunk.
Oh yeah, no, it was real. Yeah,
Yeah. He was
real.
definitely drinking.
Oh, you know what was a good one? Balls Mahoney.
Oh, I remember that guy.
He was a very good friend of mine, and miss him very much. But we got to put him in there because he told me the story. We spent a lot of time in hotels together, traveling around, and we had a lot of time to kill. And he told me the story about how he reinvented himself to become this Balls Mahoney character. And it was like what I said, where you let that person almost become you from that time period where you go through the curtain and you come back. And there was some pretty serious method acting he did, but I mean, the nicest guy you'll ever find. Did you ever did you ever know he was a Satan worshiper?
No, I had no idea.
He was a card-carrying member of the Church of Satan.
Was he really?
Mine is my best friend, right? He was more excited about Bradley, my son, being born, almost as excited as me and his mother were.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't wait to have the baby come. He's the sweetest man ever. But it always bothered me. Here I am driving with him all over the country, sleeping in hotels, sharing hotel rooms. It always bothered me that I knew he belonged to this Church of Satan, but I didn't quite understand it.
Well,
so we were driving one time, and I said, Balls, I go, let me explain this. I need you to explain something to me. I go, you're by far the nicest guy in the world. I said, I would make you my son's godfather when he's born, but I hear that you belong to the Church of Satan. He goes, I'll be your son's godfather, absolutely. I'm like, but you can't if you belong to the Church of Satan. He looks at me and he goes, real serious. He goes, it's a work. I'm like, what do you mean it's a work? Like wrestling, it's not the F word, but it's a work. I still have to teach you that. Right. But he was kind of comparing the Church of Satan to that in some way. And just telling me, like, it doesn't mean that he actually worships Satan himself. It just means that he's more anti-establishment.
Yeah, I don't think they're technically a religion that has any kind of a particular dogma.
But they don't mind making you think that's the case.
Yeah. They're really more like a trolling organization, like where, like for example, if a city wanted to use taxpayer dollars to put like a religious icon up in city property, which technically they're not supposed to do, then the Church of Satan will come along and say, hey, since you're doing that, why don't you put up this statue of the Baphomet as like a way to like not only troll them, but to show them, hey,
Trolling, yeah.
if you do that, then you have to let every religion do it because that's the way this country works, and then
Anti-establishment.
then it turns
Yeah.
into a big mess. And I think they're a professional trolling organization. I don't really take them seriously as a religion.
Well,
And
after I think you're right based on what I was told,
Yeah.
but after that, Balls Mahoney had said to me, I said, "But Balls, I go, if somebody was hurt or being hurt, you'd be the first one to rescue them." I go, and he's like, "Yeah, because it's," and he was trying to explain more of that end of it. I said, "Just explain to me this, Balls. Say right over there, standing there was Satan. What would you do?" He goes, "I would walk over there and I would punch him in the face." All right, Balls. I guess I now understand. You belong to the Church of Satan, yet being one of the sweetest men alive.
Yeah.
So, all the way for gimmicks, Kamala. Don't forget Kamala.
Oh, Kamala, yeah.
My favorite. How he'd stare at a guy like he was food. Oh, that was the best.
I think I remember that whole thing between him and the Undertaker.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah,
He gets
like
scared
the
or
casket
something.
match. He got scared of him. The casket match.
When you talk about performers, watch that when Kamala would play scared.
I think
Man.
I think I remember
That was a performance.
I think I remember
So do we have
that
that there?
actually.
Did Baloney Pete help us at all?
Nope, but we have one more spot.
One more spot. Erwin R. Schleister.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Just the name alone.
Oh, you hated that guy just because of his character.
Oh, you know what? There was a funny story I didn't tell you. I should have told you when Jacob was here because it involved him. We had him play a crooked doctor,
Right?
who was those surgeons that are just, they have the God complex and they're assholes.
Yeah, most of them.
He was that, but a little more exaggerated as a wrestling character. So all it was a student showcase event. It was where the students can let 5 of their family members come to this karate dojo where we had the ring set up.
Mhm.
We'll put out chairs and we'll put on a miniature wrestling event, 4 or 5 matches where the students wrestle the trainers. But in an actual event, like we had like music and a sound system and a referee and a ring announcer. It was just a mini show just for the students to put on for their family, free of charge, whatever. So I went out, I wrestled the one student, one of the other trainers going out, and he's wrestling Jacob. So the other guy goes out, and then Jacob comes out, who's never wrestled before in his life. A crowd has never seen him. He walked through the curtain, and it was boos that were echoing the building. Like you would have thought we were in Madison Square Garden sold out, and the Iron Sheik was coming in 1984. And me and one of the more experienced people who was helping me book, he was around a long time as well. We couldn't figure out how this guy was getting this reaction. He's never walked in front of a crowd before. Like, what is he doing? Did we teach him that well in just a few months? There's no way. So we stick our head through the curtain. 95% of the audience was kids, like between 5 and 10. So what does a kid hate the most in the world?
Teachers.
A doctor.
Doctor.
We accidentally created the greatest gimmick of all time to put on a show when there's kids. We didn't even know it.
Boy.
But that's just funny because we're like, how is he getting such a reaction? We booked it and we didn't realize the fact that it was the crowd was so heavily kids. And that's the way to get to kids. You have an evil doctor. And they just booed the living hell out of him. And it was hysterical.
That is good to know.
Kudos to Jacob on his first time walking through a curtain, getting the local equivalent of boos to the Iron Sheik in Madison Square Garden.
Slightly concerning that so many kids have that kind of reaction to doctors, though.
They hated him. They wanted to lynch him in the parking lot. Remember I told you about wrestling down south?
Yeah.
Where
Was that down south?
No, this is up here. It was in Clarence. It was in Clarence, New York. They were, they hated him. But it worked out great. He got such a great response for his character. His first time out was amazing. I really wanted to tell that story when he was here, but we talked so much, I forgot. So hopefully he's listening.
We'll have him on again.
He'll be back. He's a great resource and a great person to talk to because he started out like you, a fan who slowly got broken in to the business. Slowly. Not like me, where I was a fan when I was 5.
Yeah.
And the first opportunity, I wasn't in high school. I went to wrestling school.
Yeah, but I'm far too old to get into the ring at this point. I think I'll just work from behind the scenes.
And you know what? That's needed more than anything. You'll get more respect. You'll get more respect to Renew too Like when I was booking shows, the ones that Jacob was promoting and I was booking for him, I hardly ever won. I was doing that gimmick with the beer where I had a waitress follow me around with beer in a cup and I'd drink it and I'd smack the guy in the face with it. And then I'd do drinking contests with the crowd. It was a whole gimmick I did. But when the
Well, that sounds
storylines
awesome.
I told you that some of the best stuff I did was right at the end when I couldn't do anything anymore.
We got to bring that back.
Less is more. Less is more. But yeah, no, I'm that whole feud with Team Canada, I lost all those matches leading up to it. And the one time it was a tag team match, I was actually booked to go over so that the USA could have the win. And I got thrown out of the ring, and the guy in the crowd looks at me, the guy in the front row goes, "You've lost every match in the last 4 matches. You're allowed to win one once in a while." Like, he broke kayfabe completely and let me know it was okay to go in and win. So he didn't know the planned ending. So I go, you know what? You're right. I jumped in the ring, gave a guy the lariat, 1, 2, 3, and pointed at the guy. He didn't know that we were going home at that point anyway, and that I was going to go over.
He didn't know yet
But-
that you were gonna bring it in.
I let him convince me that it's okay to, go ahead, go in the ring and go over once in a while.
That it worked great.
It did. I mean, and stuff like that happens. But there's millions of stories like that we can get into over the course of time.
Oh yeah. For sure.
The followers will come and they're going to watch back on these old episodes. We're going to keep pushing people to go back and watch them.
Well,
Maybe
the
when we
production
have
value
millions
is
of-
Mhm.
What's that?
the production value is going to increase every single time.
I've already increased mine.
Oh yeah, I mean we've all like
first couple.
The stage is better. The green screen algorithm is better. I have other stages too. I also have like a jungle scene, and I've got like a cyberpunk studio, and a football stadium. Can
Football.
maybe use that during football season.
There you go. Oh, we'll have lots to talk about football once football season
Oh
comes.
man, we're gonna talk a lot about football. I'm
Mixed
gonna
in
have a
with the
lot
rest
to
of it.
say about that.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
So even though we didn't talk much about wrestling, we still got you a little more up to speed
Oh yeah.
on how wrestling works.
Oh for sure.
So every time, no matter what, you get a little bit closer to understanding the business from a different side of it.
Yep.
And that's good. Like I said, we're going to keep some secrets. There are not many secrets left out there. However,
Damn.
there are
right.
2 or 3. So I will discuss them with you privately, not here on the show.
Absolutely.
But we will maintain those couple 2, 3 secrets that remained.
As best we can.
I don't know how, but there's still a couple. So we'll discuss those in private.
Yep.
And I'll help you with all the rest right here in front of. I will help everybody.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Baloney Pete, I hope you had a good listen, and hopefully next week there'll be Baloney Pete plus 1 or 2.
Yep. Remember to like and subscribe. We will progressively get better. We're a new show. We'll progressively get better every week. We'll have guests. We'll have more audience interaction as soon as we figure out what that is. So have a great week, everybody, and stay safe.
Stay safe, stay careful. Hope you had a great 4th of July.
Yep.
We'll talk about that later.
Yep.
And remember, there are great guests that we have access to that it's just too soon for them to come on.
Yeah.
So once we build up those followers, the names are already there. We know them. It's just hard to get them on a podcast of Baloney Pete as a listener.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right. So I will see you guys next week. Matt, we'll talk.
Yep.
And you guys have a good week. Come prepared with questions next week. We want questions. I have no problem answering those. Talk to you all next week.
All right.
Watch watch the clips that Matt makes. They're great. Watch
Yep.
all the clips. Watch them.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Good night.